Riley.
Yeah, Andrew?
Do you want to make a podcast?
Yeah, but what would it be about?
So I'm thinking this one's a podcast called The Days of Our Limes.
The Days of Our Lives.
So sent in by Dana Wooloo Alexa on Twitter.
That's obviously a bartender soap opera, right? Where you're just making
Ooh.
No,
I'm listening to you. I'm excited about your idea.
Yeah, so you have like several bartenders, right? They're all like hanging around, they're doing their thing. And like also there's a lot of mystery and drama in there, and everyone makes extremely citrusy drinks with limes. It also doubles as a Mexican restaurant, and that like the limes are used for food there. But like there's also just a lot of murder and intrigue.
Okay, I kind of like this. So this is we're making an audio drama of Cheers, except more dramatic.
We're making an audio drama of Cheers, but it's actually like very frightening. What if everyone walked in? What if you're sitting there, Sam Malone looks up and is like, "Oh, Cliff's here." And Cliff has his hat over his chest. They're like, "Cliff, what happened?" And he's
We
like,
lost her. Give me a drink.
Norm died. And then like Sam's like, "It's a shame to hear that." And slowly like pushes something under the bar. Sam Malone has killed before and will kill again.
I like this, but I don't know enough about Cheers to continue this joke forward. So what else do you have?
You don't want to step into the Wings universe or the Frasier universe, which are all combined in the grander Cheers-averse? I was born in the Cheers, Andrew! Oh, I've got
Everybody
right here,
knows my name.
This sucks. I just realized I hit my desk to like emphasize my joke that it's not going to come through.
Huh, we're going to lose half of Riley this episode.
I've got to record my phone Foley work and then do it separately.
We'll get your phone recording Foley work.
At Machiavelli Man, Machiavelli_man says, a Blazeball podcast.
Oh boy, we just spent a good 30 minutes talking about hosting our own private Blazeball podcast before this recording started, huh?
We really did. And here's the thing. Because I have been approached with this specific idea 4 times now, like ironically, and I do love it. Blazeball moves too fast to have a pod. What would we talk about? I guess we would recap the day's events. Well, then you've got a daily podcast.
There's also is there anywhere that people are compiling like actual data?
I mean, in the Saber Discord, yeah, they're like ripping data and trying to make post-game logs and stuff. Like, people are doing it and compiling it. But like, can you imagine we record last week and then this week release an episode talking about season 2? It's nothing. Who would want to listen to that?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Because there were no peanuts in season 2.
The good thing about Blazeball is that I don't remember what happened in a game the moment it's done. The moment I collect my coins, I'm like, great, head empty. I don't remember what teams played. I don't remember anything about it. I just know that it's time to vote for it's time to bet for the crabs again.
I know that it is crab o'clock.
Claws are always up for the crabs. Soft shells, hard balls, crabs up. Fuck, it's just claws up. I'm a fake fan.
It happens, don't worry. It's just like I would love for there to be a Blazeball podcast, but it just doesn't work in the actual context of trying to make it happen. It moves too fast. It would need to be a Blazeball radio show, and that is the closest you're gonna get.
Unless
are
we doing this? Do I think we're the Mabimbams for some reason? Unless it's hourly.
Unless it's an hourly podcast.
An hourly podcast.
So we record in the off-season. Blazeball happens top of the hour to 30 minutes.
Yep.
Then we record 30 minutes to 50 minutes. And then we edit and release in that last 10 minutes while you're watching this next season of Blazeball. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is.
Exactly. We certainly don't edit. That's for sure.
We don't edit.
So if we say something heinous, it's just going in. We don't have time for that.
This is a radio show again. Then, if you don't edit, why aren't you doing it live?
You know what? You got me there. I got a podcast pitch for you.
Yeah, what's up?
So I'm gonna start pitching you on this one. I'm gonna tell you what it's called, and then I'm gonna start doing it. Okay? This podcast is called The Podcast Mime.
Okay. Oh, he's got a little microphone. Oh, you're talking into it. Are you in a box?
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. I'm sorry. Let me. Fuck. Okay. We'll try that again next week. I thought it went okay though until I fucked up.
We had like a great thing going, but you really did. You ruined it pretty quickly.
I'll get the hang of it for next time. I'm sorry to let you down.
It's okay. I have one here, a podcast where one person has the instructions to a piece of Ikea furniture and the other has the parts. It's like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, except with hex keys.
I don't know if you know this. Assembling Ikea furniture is like it's one of my favorite things in the entire world.
Oh, dude, yes. There's nothing better than putting together furniture, and like especially like I love like whenever like my wife and I can build something, it's just like, oh, cool. It's a fucking craft that we get to do. It's just like, boom, that's 6 hours cut away. Like, it is beautiful. I would love this idea.
Yeah, I tricked my fiance. I was like, shucks, we should probably buy some furniture and have it come in. And, you're going to be out of town this weekend? I mean, I guess I can see if I can get it done. Boy, it'll be tough, but I think I can do it. And now we have end tables.
Yeah, it's just a big project. It's just a big, fun project.
It's Legos that I don't have to find room for afterwards. The problem with Legos, I put together Big Ben last year, right? I put together a big old Big Ben Lego set.
Yes.
Where the fuck do I put a Big Ben Lego set in my apartment?
Nowhere.
It's in a closet. I have no room for it. You can't display that places. It's too like wide to put on top of a bookshelf.
It's like a Gunpla. You finish the Gunpla and then you simply go, and you put it directly in the garbage can.
I don't want people to know I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I don't want people to be like, oh, what's your favorite season? And I go, I don't know. I've never watched a season. I just like building robots.
I know this is a meme, but wow, cool robot is my only approach to Gundam.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Oh, look, it's Char's counterattack. Only Char I want to see is on a burger. You get it?
Why the fuck are you talking about Gundam but not talking about robots? You're talking about people? Who gives a shit?
You think I care about the interactions between people and robots and how there's some sort of war? Nah, don't care.
I get that you think war being bad is interesting, but have you seen the cool robots?
Why would I give a shit about the scenario that these kids are in when instead I can point and go, that's Big Zam. Yeah, I love him.
The robots do a really cool war, guys. Did you miss that? Did you miss that part?
Miss the cool action part? Did you miss the part where a guy's got a like an ace of spades or some shit tattooed on his hand and he yells? Like
that one's piloted by a horse.
Yeah.
Did you see the Gundam piloted by a horse? Wow.
I never watched the show.
Cool Robot.
Cool Robot. This has been our pitch for Wow Cool Robot, which is a show where we just look at robots and go, yeah, look at
that. That's the one that we pitched with Astro Boy a couple weeks back.
You're right.
For the record, there is a podcast called Wow Cool Robot, but we would be the opposite of it. Instead of actually critically analyzing Gundam, we just go, no, the robots are super dope. Who cares what the people are talking about?
Damn, these robots sure are cool. Do you have another option? Do you got another idea here?
I do. I got to cool down from our robot talk. Ben Roswell wrote in and says, a podcast titled Pods and Demipods.
So the idea is you find a main podcast, right? You find like the My Brother and Me. And then you find the demipods, the podcasts that it then births. And it's not ones that like are are spin-offs, you know? Like a Taz is different than a My Brother, My Brother. Is different than My Brother, My Brother and Me. They are both their own pods. But a demipod is something that then has grown from that. So like somebody who listens to Taz and goes, I can do that, is the demipod of Taz.
So, okay, so you're saying that we are establishing like the family trees of podcasts.
Yes, and is it tracing that family tree?
We're like, let's look at Merlin Mann and talk about his early work, and then talk about all of the podcasts that he inspired.
Yes.
He's a podcaster.
Thank you. I'm sure he is.
We're saying, okay, so we're just establishing the hierarchy of podcasts.
Well, hierarchy is the wrong word, because that implies that one is like superior, higher up on the list. But I think very much like you know, Hercules is cool and beats up Hades in Hercules, the movie that is historically accurate.
Yeah.
Sometimes the demipods beat the shit out of the pods that they grew from and can birth their own demipods. So a family tree is much more direct. That and then you kind of get into then we start getting into the genealogy of podcasts.
We're just coming up with like the back half of Genesis, but for podcasts.
Yes.
This feels, I can't think of anything more self-indulgent than starting a podcast about podcasts.
Yeah, it would be really stupid if two people started a podcast about podcasts.
Yeah. Do you have any other podcast pitches for me?
Yeah, I actually do have a really good podcast pitch. This one comes from Sarah McCostumes, fan of the show, friend of the show.
Enemy of the Andrew.
Enemy of the Andrew.
Secret lore.
Ooh, secret lore. Playing only good games, entertainment review show. I like this idea because it means I don't have to play bad games.
I do like that. So it's just like a gaming podcast, but then we're just like, nothing good came out this week. And someone's like, didn't Last of Us 2 drop? And we go, yeah.
Yep. And then the theme music plays. We do have a studio audience of one nerd that we get in every time.
We just have a third track that's just a raging nerd.
Maybe not even starting raging. Maybe starting at the, hey, but this came out. And we go, yes. And then they go, why I oughta? And then it cuts to the theme music.
This is just the gaming equivalent of something for the something society. What did we call that thing? I don't care.
For the submission of the Discourse Society.
Yeah, this is just like the speedrun version of that.
True, absolutely true. Which there was another podcast that kind of folds into this one that I wanted to bring up. I don't have who suggested it, and I will go back and find it, but I have too many Blazeball tweets. The post is a podcast about video games with 4 friends from high school.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's probably not many of these, right?
Yeah, this is new ground. So
yeah,
I'm gonna get together. It'll be me and my friend Ryan, our other friend Sean, who I kind of have a tumultuous relationship with because he started dating my ex, but things are kind of weird because of look, it was a weird relationship. I don't need to get into that. And then we have our other friend John, and we come on and we say, hey, did y'all like Final Fantasy 13? And we all say, I played 80 hours of it, but I don't know that I'd call it enjoyed it. And we'd say, great, thanks, bye. Do y'all want to play Halo at John's house again tonight? And we'd say, yeah, that sounds good. Actually, I'm into this idea. I like this a lot.
Now, here's the thing. I don't want to get back into the drama, Andrew, but what if we also folded this in with Days of Our Lives? And there was a soap opera audio drama meta plot that was happening here as well.
So this isn't a podcast where 4 friends from high school talk about video games. This is a podcast about 4 friends from high school making a video game podcast.
Yes, yes, yes. And it is about them growing up
And the
and
struggles
learning
that they
that
find.
yep. Sometimes things break apart. Fucking the Arcade Fire music plays in the background. There's a shot of one of you running with a podcast mic in your hand, yelling about like Halo 4 or some shit. That's going, whoa.
I want to talk about more games, but I don't have money, and GameStop keeps rejecting my applications. That was a running theme of our high school lives. I don't know why GameStop didn't want to hire unwashed nerds. That was their clientele.
I actually got hired by GameStop, and then they never scheduled me for a shift. I might still hypothetically be employed at a GameStop in Davenport, Iowa. They hired me out for holiday help, and they're like, "You got the job," and I filled out the paperwork, and I just never got a call.
Wild.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
I tried to get hired at Chipotle when I was in high school, and then they had me do an interview, and then they were like, "Great, well, we'll have the district manager come in and talk to you too." And I was like, "All right, I guess I'll do that, sure." And then I talked to him, and he was like, "Well, cool. Why don't you come in like a week, and we'll have you sit down with the crew and like have breakfast or brunch with them before the shift starts." And I was like, "Okay, I can do that." And then I did that, and the guy was like, "Great, I think that went really well. We're going to schedule you for another interview." And I was like, "I think I'm good. This is a stricter interview process for a minimum wage job than any other job I had since."
I think you were joining a cult.
I think so. They branded me with cilantro. Is that good?
They what? No. Listen, we can address that later. Do you have a different podcast for me?
Sure. Colton writes in and says, "Super yummy crabs delicious expialidocious."
So it's a culinary podcast.
Yeah, and the best thing about culinary podcasts would be you can only hear us talk about it. You know, what I usually say about TV shows about food is that you can't taste the food, but you can at least see it and imagine it. So what if we took that element away and just talked about food?
What if we well, again, this kind of folds into our smell-o-vision concept that we had addressed a few weeks ago.
Well, I think we're cutting that out, too. This is just audio.
Oh. Just audio. Are we describing the food visually, or is it just like mouth sounds?
Yeah, it's just a mouth sounds podcast. You know what everyone loves is when people eat food directly into a microphone. So we're just going to do that.
That sounds like we'd have a lot of fans, and it would be like weirdly sexual, and we would not want that.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, I don't want people being like, "Oh, have you heard this podcast? It really revs my engines." And I'd be like, "Oh, that wasn't the plan at all."
That's not what we wanted. That was not the intention. So what if let me pitch to you this. Instead of super yummy crabs delicious expialidocious.
Yeah.
It's not a culinary podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What it is instead is a retelling. You know, like Pride and Prejudice and zombies and shit, and like books like that take an old book and then just attach a new element to it and sell it so that way teenagers will read it.
Yeah.
What if we did that, but with Mary Poppins, and Mary Poppins is a crab?
I already bought it. I'm in 100%.
So like it's verbatim the same thing, but every time it cuts to Mary Poppins, she's a crab and doesn't speak and just like.
It's like she grabbed her umbrella between her claws and floated from the heavens.
Yeah.
Huh. Is there still an animated segment?
No, because it's a podcast.
Right. This is a podcast.
If we have enough fans, then yeah, there could be an animated segment.
So the only thing that we hear from Mary Poppins is just like little crab claw clicks.
Or the narrator could go, "And the crab jangled miserably," or something.
Jangling miserably is a very sad description of a crab, but it is kind of what they do sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
I'm realizing that I don't know enough about Mary Poppins to keep this joke going. So what if I pitch to you a podcast that uses the bot that spits out Wikipedia entries with the same number of syllables as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for their weekly topic?
Okay, so we're about that. You keep handing me audio dramas, so I need to know what you think.
No, this isn't an audio drama. We have a new subject each week. So like our first episode, it's going to be Project Runway Fashion Startup.
Okay. So we're like Dilettante Ball, the podcast that hits a random article on Wikipedia every week. But this time we're having a bot do it, and they all go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, episode 2 is going to be College of Creative Studies. Tell me about that. Tell me about a College of Creative Studies.
One quick second. How do you say the kind of the meter of that?
Dun 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 dun.
Say it again. Say College of Creative Studies.
College of Creative Studies.
See, I go College of Creative Studies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
Potter County Courthouse, Texas.
Yeah. Fire County Courthouse, Texas. Fire County Courthouse, Texas. It is a firehouse in Texas. Like
Ryan Ellis, race car driver. Ryan Ellis, race car driver. Ryan Ellis, race car driver. He is driving cars now, super fast now. Is that how Is this how I'm supposed to be reading these titles?
That's the theme. That's how the theme goes.
The
theme is
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a thing, right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't think so. It sounds like you're that to me sounds like when somebody is like interior crocodile alligator, and I'm like that's nothing. What?
Carry me across the water. Fuck. Am I gonna get tweets?
Carry me across the water. I know, because I think we settled it here. Like no one's gonna tweet at you, but I think we're all gonna be like, huh, where did Andrew get that? And that's where we get our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles super fan who's gonna message us and be like, that was actually in the '90s a animated series theme. It was a deviation on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Huh.
There, but for the grace of Pod, go we.
Coughs and sneezes, spread diseases. Coughs and sneezes, spread diseases. This one's fun.
Yeah. Listen, we were both watching when you got to in Kingdom Hearts. You were streaming Kingdom Hearts last night, and you got to the Kingdom of Corona from Rapunzel.
And then we just got to sit there, and she's like, I wish I could go outside. And I was like, boy, oh boy, me too.
Yeah. You and me both Rapunzel. Shit. The fuck? They just got to do the thing that they did in Archer, where they wheeled out the big sign that said ISIS without referencing it, and they just stopped calling the company ISIS. Just wheel out the sign that says Corona.
Just like, this is Tangleville now.
Welcome to Miller Lite Town.
I got one that I really like here. This one comes from Tanner V. Topic: a heated debate at which games, tabletop or video, that you could beat the Fae at.
I saw this and I do like it. I like this concept. What do you have in your fucking hilt for this?
I don't think I went off on a little tangent when I was thinking about this. I do think it would be funny to have a podcast where we just talked about whether or not who we thought would win a certain game between the two of us.
Like you and I, like we wouldn't play the game, but I'd be like, I know I could kick your ass in Settlers of Catan.
Exactly. And you probably could. I would bet on you in that.
Especially if we're playing with other people, just because like that's my game. I make deals. I'm a deal maker, Andrew.
So I don't think I would beat the Fae at. But you know what game I used to be surprisingly good at?
What?
Mental Magic: The Gathering.
Oh, so like you would say to the Fae, you'd have nothing in front of you, you'd be standing in a empty room, and you would say, I play one land and I tap it to play Land of War Elf. and then it would flip to them, and they would then say,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were pitching it to me. Yeah, so you have to remember you've got 5 cards in hand right now. So I would say my turn, I would play Underground Sea, tap it for a black, cast Dark Ritual, then I'm going to cast Thoughtseize on you. So you reveal your whole hand to me, and then I take a card and get rid of it and spend 2 life. I'm at 18.
Here's what's in my hand. So right now I have another Llanowar elf. I have Omnath, the mana font or whatever from Zendikar. I have another green land, and I have Tooth and Nail.
Great. I'm going to use the Thoughtseize to take the Omnath. So that goes to the graveyard. And then using the other 2 mana left over from the Dark Ritual, I'm going to cast... what is this card's name? It's 1 and a black. It's a 1/2 flying creature from Rivals of Ixalan that lets me steal it. What is your name? I lose mental magic. You've defeated the Fae. Good work.
That was close, because you had to ask me again. I was like, shit, I was really banking on getting Omnath out there turn 2.
That was very close, because I was going to steal your Tooth and Nail, then it would go under that, and I'd have a creature in play with a handful of cards.
Tooth and Nail's not a creature, Andrew, you idiot. It's a sorcery.
Right, which is why I can take it with my Kite Sail Freebooter.
Too late, you already lost. You're trapped in the Feywild now. We call it the Podwild. Podwild Studios.
I'm sure that was a riveting 2 minutes for 3 members of our audience. What games do you think you could beat the Fae at?
Okay, so I gotta actually think here on like what's something I'm good at that specifically Fae will not be good at. I think the biggest problem is that what I'm good at is being tricky and like charismatic, and that is screwed. Exactly the Fae's skill set. So
yeah, like, you're playing in their home court.
Yeah, I'm in their home court, which might mean they underestimate me. They might not think I can do anything. I might be able to get double swerve in, and so, but what I think really will happen is I think I can beat the Fae in NBA 2K11.
Okay,
specifically that year. Do you know why?
Why is that?
There was a player on the Jazz by the name of Mo Williams. He was not a good player. He's not a great player. He's not even a decent player. He's okay at best. But for some reason, the way he shoots the ball times perfectly with how my brain wants to release the ball. And because of that, I was able to, with only scoring points with Mo Williams, defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder 88-20. And I could, utilizing the power of Mo Williams, Mo Problems, I can give the Fae some problems. So
this game has one character that you just get to like enter the drift with, and you're just like, I understand you. Reaching out and pressing the button, it's like the controller and my hands are one. There's no difference, and I understand how to put that ball into that hoop, no problem.
Absolutely. I would kill for a Mo Williams jersey, but I cannot find one, and I'm not going to spend the money to actually like get it custom made, because that would be $100 for a joke. Right.
How good do you think the Fae are at Counter-Strike?
I think the Fae are probably... I think they could do it.
Because I'm not good at Counter-Strike, but I feel like I'm probably better than the Fae.
Are we assuming the Fae have had no interaction with our world? Like, they've just cracked open the gates and they've been like, Andrew! They were like, Andrew, we're gonna ruin your day!
That's what the Fae do.
Yeah. Okay, I think you could... I think that sounds possible. But also there's a chance that they're like, all right, let's get no scope Blevins out here, and he would be like, I have trained 1,000 years for this. And then he would just beat you into the dirt. And it would be embarrassing. Because the thing is, he'd make you play out every round, right? Like, you'd have to continue playing that game until, like, the agreed upon, like, best out of 5. And you'd just be getting your ass kicked. And Counter-Strike's a team game, right?
No, they can 1v1B. Knives only.
I have no idea. Knives only. Ooh, knives only.
Yeah.
I think we could defeat the Fae at Battletech. You and I together. I think we could make it happen.
I think we could probably do that.
Could lock those fuckers out.
I think I would lose regular Magic the Gathering for what it's worth.
Hi-ho!
Hi-ho!